This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
And welcome to another episode of the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. I'm Taylor Phillips, along with Biff Bryan, who is filling in for Ed Smith tonight. Ed Smith will be back Saturday to preview the Lions-Seahawks Monday Night Football game. So how are we doing, Brian?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
Awesome. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network.
Thank you.
Glad you can take the time to fill in for my usual weekly co-host, Ed Smith, who is very, very analytical with things. But I find the little more critical side in you, so I thought I'd use you for a little bit.
I tend to sway the critical way.
Awesome, good. So the Tigers do sweep the Tampa Bay Rays. Now they're already tied for second in the American League wildcard spot. Tied for the second American League wildcard spot with the Kansas City Royals, 85-74. The Royals beat the Nationals 7-4, and the Tigers came back from down 3-0 to beat the Rays earlier today. And the Twins right now are down 4-2. They were down 4-1. But they were down. But now they're down 4-2. The Twins are slowly but surely chipping away, but still on the verge of losing again, like they did last night to the Marlins, the Miami Marlins of all teams. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. I was just looking at that because it was 4-0. Then Minnesota was scoring a couple. They had guys on the corner with only one out, and Miami got out of the inning without giving up anymore. So. Last I checked, it was 4-2 going into the eighth. It'll knock that magic number down to 1.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But we will stay on top of it, of course, as I can access the MLB at Bat mobile app. Marlins, Twins, runners at the corners, 1 out, bottom 8. Twins are at bat.
Oh, they got him on the corner again in the 8th.
Yeah, Marlins are at 58-100. The Twins 82-76, 2.5 games back. So with that, the magic number is down to 2 already. But if the Twins lose, like you mentioned, the magic number will be down to 1. So and then if the Twins get eliminated, it's tied at 4. Holy cow!
Oh.
Let's check the game day here. Brooks Lee with a 2-run double scoring Royce Lewis and Carlos Santana. Wow. Bottom 8. Brooks Lee on second with 1 out.
Well, that makes that win earlier today that much bigger.
Exactly. So I see with the Yankees clinching the AL East, they just routed the Baltimore Orioles. Last I checked, the Yankees were both up 9-0. They won 10-1. So the Baltimore Orioles are now down to 3 games up on the Tigers and Royals.
Yeah, they've kind of had a free fall after some of their kind of curious buy-in at the deadline. They kind of half heartedly went into the buying, and it blew up on them.
Yeah, yeah, they did. The Tigers decided to like trade Jack Flaherty and sell a little bit, but guess what? Guess where they are right now? They somehow keep finding ways to win, but AJ Hinch really just keeps making more illogical moves.
Yes, I'm not as big a AJ Hinch fan as a lot of other people are. I think he's a very good manager, but sometimes he gives off the smartest guy in the room kind of vibe to me. And Sticks, he's very analytical. I am not. I'm old school when it comes to sports. More of a gut type of guy, not analytical. And he keeps playing Andy Ibanez, who the dude is in the second half of the season. He's not hitting anybody. And he'll play him over Carpenter, who I know struggles against lefties, but I'd rather have Kerry Carpenter playing who can run into one rather than Andy Ibanez bringing nothing. And then bringing Mize in today in some situations. Some of the stuff just rubs me the wrong way with AJ.
Yeah, I know that's the way it goes. If any manager like Jim Leyland or Brad Ausmus or AJ Hinch or Ron Gardenhire, even Ron, especially also including Ron Gardenhire, who was long in the tooth, but really just if you make so many wrong moves, that you're just likely to lose. You're just likely to lose.
Yeah,
pretty simple.
Yep, but no, that the comeback today, I thought they were dead in the water. Halfway through that game, they couldn't get a hit off a former Tiger, Tyler Alexander. They kind of struggle against those soft tossing lefties. The Tigers as a whole have kind of struggled against some soft tossing guys. My whole life, it seems. I'm 43, and ever since I've been watching, they always struggle, no matter what team it is, against those guys. And it happened again. Then Tampa brings in their hard throwers with the low earn run averages, and it just was a totally different team after the sixth inning.
Yep. So the Tigers just have the White Sox coming out. The Tigers can sweep them, and they have to.
Yeah.
It's still got to be a completed transaction, of course. But I think the Tigers can do it. They swept the White Sox in a 4-game series on the road. No joke.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you saw the White Sox moved up one of their starters, Garrett Crochet, to face the Tigers. He's their only really viable starting pitcher. And interim manager Grady Sizemore said, well, Tigers are in a playoff race. We're not going to make it easy on them. Some fans were saying that it was kind of a Bush League move from the White Sox. I like it because you play to win no matter what. I'd rather win against your best than, lay down for us.
Right. So that I believe that's Tigers. Now Michigan beat USC 27-23. Michigan had the lead for most of the game, but just their defense, let alone a wide receiver wide open, and then Khalil Mullings. After that, Khalil Mullings took over, and then that 63-yard run, and then punched it in from 1 yard out to give the Wolverines the lead back, 27-23, and then Michigan's defense finally stopped USC on a 4 and out to seal it.
Yeah, that's I think it's Michigan's recipe for winning the rest of the way. Running and defense. If they fall behind, they're going to be hard pressed to come back on any teams because their passing game is non-existent. And putting Alex Orgy, the guy, he can't throw. So
neither can Davis Warren.
Yeah, I'm not neither of those guys. It baffles me how a team coming off a national championship, I know you lose players, but has no quarterback at all. That I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me. but they're going to have to run. And what they do, put up, I think, over 250 yards on the ground last week.
253 yards for Khalil Mullings. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to do that every week. And they're going to get in some games where they're going to have to throw. And kind of curious to see how it works.
Yeah. So Michigan is ranked 12th now. They are hosting the Minnesota Golden Gophers Saturday at noon on Fox. Your thoughts?
I haven't seen a whole lot. What's Minnesota's record this year?
Minnesota's record. Let me look it up. I think it's a winning record, but I'm going to check right about now on the Score mobile app. Minnesota's 2-2. Michigan is 3-1.
And of course, it's at Michigan because they don't leave the state for half the damn season. I think Michigan once again going to rely heavily on the running game, and probably I think it'll be a close game, but I think they're going to eke it out against Minnesota. 2-2, not that great of a team. So this is a game that Michigan should win.
All right. And the Wolverines are favored -10. The over-under is 35.5. And the money line, Minnesota +300, Michigan -380.
That's a low over-under, so they must. Yeah, even Vegas is thinking lot of running, not really high-powered offenses, so it's going to be kind of a defensive battle.
Yep. All right. So Michigan State lost to Boston College 23-19, and we recapped this earlier a few days ago on Twitter Spaces. Aiden Childs throwing way too much, throwing 3 picks. Should have been almost 10.
Yes. Yeah, and this is my area of little more expertise with teams. I'm a Michigan State fan, been one my whole life, so I know them quite a bit more than Michigan. This game, I know it's at home. They're honoring Mark D'Antonio's back, honoring him, but I don't see any way the Spartans can beat Ohio State. They might be able to make it interesting for a little bit, especially if Childs doesn't turn the ball over. But if he's turning the ball over, it's going to get away from him fast, and State doesn't have the offensive line to stop the pass rush from Ohio State, and they don't have the running game. That's their biggest thing. They need to get a running game going that'll help Childs, and with the way that offensive line is blocking, the running game hasn't been that good.
Right, I know. They have almost nothing on offense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that game is going to be televised on Peacock Saturday at 7. I think Ohio State's going to win by a rout.
Yeah.
They're third ranked. They were number 2 a little earlier in the season, but now they're 3 after Texas leapfrogged them. The Longhorns and the Georgia Bulldogs are 1 and 2, alternating, I think. But really, that game's out of hand. There's no need for too much analysis on that.
Yeah, no, I think a couple receivers are possibly coming back. State was down 4 receivers last week. It was crazy. I don't even know what the injuries most of them had were. They kind of came out of nowhere. I think Nick Marsh, their talented freshman, is supposed to be back this week. That'll give the offense a little bit of a boost, but unless they can find the ghost of Flozell Adams and Jack Conklin and guys that used to play on the lines at Michigan State over the years, that they're not going to be able to stop Ohio State's defense.
Nope. They're definitely not gonna penetrate. Still tied at 4, Miami Marlins and Minnesota Twins heading to the top of the 9th. Xavier Edwards with a double for Miami to lead off, actually with 1 out. Xavier Edwards against I think Jose Duran. No, Johan Duran. Johan Duran.
Yes.
All right. And then the Lions beating the Arizona Cardinals 20-13. We also recapped that on Twitter Spaces. So David Montgomery with a touchdown pick. We mentioned on Spaces that on 4th and 1, David Montgomery was stopped short. Cardinals took over on downs. Jake Bates 2 for 3 in extra point attempts. The hook and ladder from I think Jameer Gibbs to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
The other way around. Yeah, St. Brown.
St. Brown to
pitched
Jameer
it back
Gibbs.
to Gibbs.
Yeah. Okay. So still the play calling is still iffy by Ben Johnson.
Yeah, when you look at the two coordinators, it's always been Ben Johnson's your better coordinator. Aaron Glenn is the one who's gotten a lot of the criticism. This year, Aaron Glenn's making his money. Ben Johnson, it seems like he has a bit of a hangover from last year and needs to step it up. I love the hook and ladder play. That was nice, but he just gets so cute inside the red zone with different things. And when the Lions are a running team. I know Jared Goff had a great season last year throwing the ball, but they're a running team. The run sets up the pass, not the other way around for this team. And he needs to realize that, run it down the other team's throats, and then it's going to open up stuff for Goff. But he just gets a little cute sometimes with the offense.
Got to be more aggressive than that if you want to contend for a Super Bowl. So their injury report looks like this. Frank Ragnow suffered a partially torn pectoral muscle, but there was an inside. It was like some news that Dan Campbell wanted Frank Ragnow to play, but now that we know that Frank Ragnow is going to be out, he definitely didn't practice. Neither did Derek Barnes. He'll miss at least 4 weeks with a knee injury. Ragnow with a partially torn pectoral muscle, and then you got Marcus Davenport being done for the rest of the season. It was confirmed, as we mentioned before, with a severe elbow injury. We didn't find any more specification on his elbow injury.
Yeah, he's one. I was scratching my head when they signed him in the first place. He's never played a full season. Hasn't always been that productive, even when he plays. But they signed him, and everyone's like, "Well, it's an incentive-laden deal." That's true, but they were relying on him to start, and he'd been starting. Now he's out. That pass rush takes a big hit. Now you got just Hutchinson on one side, no one else really on the other. I really wish they'd have done more in the offseason to address the pass rush. The Barnes injury is going to hurt for 4 weeks. He's a nice linebacker who does the occasional blitz and can get at the quarterback. Ragnow, it sounds like he's the one who wanted to play. Campbell said they needed to sit him out this week, then with the bye week after, and hopefully he can be back after that. He's one of the toughest guys in the NFL. He's played through every injury his whole career. So I think he'll be back. Yes.
I looked at an article for that with the options for Marcus Davenport's replacement, but it's more interior within the team from their practice squad, and not very many external options. There was one listed, Max Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders, but they say from that article that that wouldn't be possible. So
you'd have to give up, like, sell the farm to get him. I'd love him in Detroit, but there's no possible way that's going to happen. Trades like that very rarely happen. I could see, like, Hassan Reddick trying to trade for him, but he wants to get paid. So you might be able to trade for him and not give up a whole lot. But if you don't sign him to an extension, he's just going to sit out just like he's sitting out for the Jets. And do you want to pay him? If you pay him, it takes away from extensions that they have to sign with some other guys. So they're kind of I'm trying to think of the right word. They really don't have an option at the pass rush to do. And internally, I mean, what do you get? James Houston, who was inactive for a couple games and hasn't played well since his rookie season.
James Houston. He's been out for too long. Injured again. He's injury prone. That would seem.
Yep.
Which is a shame because he has inside potential.
Yeah, and I think his perfect role, and he did well with it, his rookie season, where he just comes in and he's in just to rush the passer. That's it. And then last year they tried to have him do some other stuff because they wanted him to start and get more playing time. But when you're the starter, you're not just rushing the passer. You got to defend the run, and it just didn't work out. Then he got hurt, and when you're a one-trick pony, you're more of when you have a lot of depth, then you can come in and do that trick and do it well. But they don't have any depth and need to rely on them to do them well.
Yeah, they really do. So the Lions did sign wide receiver Allen Robinson to the active roster from their practice squad. Also mentioned Sam Laporta. He suffered an ankle injury, but I think Allen Robinson is a wide receiver and not a tight end. So the Lions have to look at other options to like substitute their usual starters, such as Laporta, Ifeatu Melifonwu, and Frank Ragnow, who's probably going to be out. But there's still 2 days left of practice before the Sunday rest, and then the Monday night football game against the Seattle Seahawks which is Monday, kicks off Monday at 8:15 on ABC and ESPN Plus. So the Thursday practice report looks like this: Laporta, Melifonwu, and Ragnow, and Dan Skipper at offensive tackle. No practice. Skipper was out. Skipper had a rib injury. Frank Ragnow, now, as I mentioned, torn pectoral. Laporta and Melifonwu with both with an ankle injury each. Brian Branch, Aleem McNeil, Levi Onsarike, and Ennis Rakestraw limited practice Thursday, so they could still be possible, barring any setbacks. Brian Branch with a concussion, Aleem McNeil with a shoulder, Onsarike with a knee, and Rakestraw with a hamstring. But Alex Anzalone, hang tight on this one at linebacker, concussion, full practice.
Nice.
So the Lions get one key piece, are definitely going to get at least one key piece back. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
because they need him.
Yes, they definitely need him. With Laporta, I read he didn't practice, but he was on the sideline doing stuff with trainers a lot and working on that. So that's somewhat of a good sign. I know it said no practice, but he was at least doing stuff with them, working. A low ankle sprain is a little bit different than a high ankle. I've had many high ankle sprains and broken ankles over the years from basketball. So those high ankle sprains can linger for a long time. So I guess if there's any silver lining with it being a low ankle, it can heal a little quicker.
Yeah, that's some good information. So again, Seahawks Lions Monday at 8:15 on ABC. That's it. That's all we've covered for tonight. So for Biff Bryant, I'm Taylor Phillips. This has been another episode of the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast on the Huddle Sports Network. Follow the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast on X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Michigan_Truth, and like its Facebook page. Also subscribe to its YouTube channel at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. Like our videos and turn on all notifications on the bell icon, and watch each of our episodes in full to help improve our watch hours. Our episodes are in the live section of our channel. Also, follow it and listen to it in audio form on Spreaker and join its supporters club. Follow me on Twitter or X, TikTok, and Instagram at DT2Phillips, and on YouTube at DT2Phillips. Biff Brian has an X at bballj7985 Brian.
Yep, and don't if you follow me, I can be a little negative sometimes, so don't hold that against me.
Well, hey, we need both positive and negative. It's the truth.
There you go. I like that. I like that.
That's why I chose you as one of my co-hosts options.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we're gonna skip the shout outs for now, but except for Let's Roll With It, Rolled Ice Cream and Cadillac. Like them on Facebook, follow them on TikTok at The Food Mafia LLC, and on Instagram at The Food Mafia Rolled Ice Cream. Their flavor of the week was pumpkin pie. Ever had rolled ice cream before?
I have not. I don't know what that is, and I love myself some ice cream.
Right. It's like an ice surface, like a freezing surface. You pour like milk and add the flavor, the ordered flavors.
Okay.
Chop it up with scrapers and then just let it freeze up, and then scrape it to make rolls of it, and then put it in a big cup or a little bowl or something like that. So one more update before we get off the air. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Still, the Marlins and Twins head to the bottom of the ninth, still tied at 4, middle of the ninth. So Twins have a chance to win it in the ninth, but it's a tall order with the bases empty before extra innings. So for Biff Brian, on behalf of Ed Smith, I'm Taylor Phillips signing up. But remember, we observe and detect the truth about Michigan sports because the truth is out there. Stay on the lookout. Ta-ta, hit him with a hind. Thanks, Brian.
No problem. Have a good night, man.
Thanks,
Thank
you
you.
too.